Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Dakota, the place where we unravel the not-so-hidden secrets of corporate America to see if companies are really delivering on their promises and if the numbers behind the fancy words add up in a way that makes sense for all of us. Today we have something interesting from Finance of America Companies Incorporated, ticker symbol FOA, and it looks like they are making some big moves with their debt and financial agreements. Let's dive in and see what it all means. So what we're looking at here is what is called a Form 8, which is basically a report that companies have to file when some pretty important stuff happens, things that aren't part of their regular day-to-day operations, but are significant enough that investors need to know about them right away. This particular filing is dated the 21st of October 2025, and it tells us about some significant agreements that Finance of America Funding, LLC, a subsidiary of Finance of America Companies, Incorporated, entered into. Think of it as a major update on some existing deals they already told us about. Okay, so the main subject here is FOA funding and its role within the larger company Finance of America Companies Incorporated. Now they completed some consent transactions, which is a fancy way of saying they got permission from the people who hold their debt, certain holders of their 7.875% senior secured notes due 2026 and their 10.00% exchangeable senior secure ed notes due 2029 to make some changes. These changes were made through what are called supplemental indentures, which are basically amendments or additions to their original debt agreements. These are divided into two main ones, one for the secured notes and another for the exchangeable notes. Both were done with us Bank Trust Company National Association acting as trustee and collateral trustee. So what do these supplemental indentures actually do? Well, they allow FOA funding and its subsidiaries to do a few key things. Firstly, they can make restricted payments up to a total of $45 million. This money is specifically earmarked to buy back equity interests in the company. Or its subsidiaries, this sounds like they're planning to repurchase some of their own stock or ownership. Stakes, which can sometimes be a sign that management believes the stock is undervalued or wants to boost shareholder value. Secondly, the agreements state that FOA funding and any subsidiary holding a specific type of asset called an HMSR instrument need to treat the money they get from selling or using these instruments as if it were collateral cash. This is a bit technical, but it likely relates to how they manage and secure their debt obligations ensuring that proceeds from certain assets are properly accounted for and available to cover their secured debts. And this next part is pretty interesting. For the secured notes related to those 2026 notes, the company has decided to waive its right to extend the maturity date. This means instead of being able to push the due date back by a year from November of 2026 to November of 2027, they are letting it stand at the original 2026 date. This suggests a commitment to paying down this specific debt without delay. The report also touches on the creation of direct financial obligations or off-balance sheet arrangements. This essentially means that these new agreements create new financial commitments for the company, or affect how they report their financial situation. This confirms that the actions taken are indeed creating new or modified financial responsibilities. These amended agreements, the supplemental indentures, are filed as exhibits to this report. Exhibit 4.1 covers the one for the 2026 notes, and Exhibit 4.2 is for the 2029 exchangeable notes. These are the official legal documents detailing all the terms. And finally, as is standard practice, the report is signed by Matthew A. Engel, the Chief Financial Officer of Finance of America Companies Incorporated. This signature signifies that the company acknowledges the information presented in this report is accurate to the best of their knowledge. Now let's connect the dots here. What does all this mean? Finance of America Companies Incorporated through its subsidiary FOA fund. Dad. Ing is proactively managing its debt for investors. This is generally a positive sign when a company is clear about its debt obligations and takes steps to restructure or clarify them. The ability to repurchase up to $45 million in equity and the waiver of the maturity extension for a portion of the 2026 notes indicate a focus on financial flexibility and a commitment to meeting their debt obligations. However, we should always look closer. Are these debt management strategies a sign of strength or a way to manage looming problems? It is important to remember that these are secured notes, meaning they are backed by specific assets. If the company were to default on these, the holders of these notes have a claim on that. Collateral, the $45 million equity repurchase could be seen as a positive signal of confidence, but it also means cash that could be used for other operational investments is being directed towards share buybacks. Looking at broader trends in the financial services industry, companies like Finance of America are often navigating a complex market with fluctuating interest rates and reg. Atri changes their ability to secure these agreements and manage their debt effectively will be crucial for their long-term success. The fact that they are willing to waive an extension on their debt maturity for $60 million is interesting. It could mean they are confident in their ability to refinance or pay down this debt before 2026, or perhaps they see strategic advantages in not delaying this payment. In my opinion, Finance of America appears to be taking a responsible approach to its debt management. These supplemental indentures are not necessarily a cause for alarm, but rather a sign of active financial stewardship. While the details of the HMSR instruments are technical, their treatment as collateral cash. Seed suggests careful risk management. The key takeaway is that the company is making deliberate moves to manage its financial commitments and potentially enhance shareholder value through equity repurchases. Overall, Finance of America Companies Incorporated seems to be taking steps to strengthen its financial position by clarifying debt terms and gaining flexibility for repurchases. However, as always, investors should keep a close eye on the company's overall financial health and how these strategies play out in the larger economic landscape. Alright, that is our breakdown of Finance of America's latest filing. What is your take on these debt maneuvers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know. If you have any questions, if this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of corporate finance. Don't forget to check out the Discord link in the description for more exclusive content and discussions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.